Well, the coalition is facing a test this morning as divisions emerge over the future of its nuclear policy. We discussed this with Matt Canavan on the program earlier, but joining us live now is the Nationals MP and the former Deputy Prime Minister Michael McCormack. Michael, first of all, congratulations on getting your seat. No real trouble there. Bit of a walk in the park for you. Wasn't for others,
never
though.
a walk in the park, Peter. I had 12 opponents. That was the second highest in Australia, and indeed new boundaries. So never take a vote for granted, never a walk in the park.
Fair enough. I guess I'm just referring to the margin, and it seemed that way, but fair enough. So let's get to the future now with respect to the coalition. Should nuclear remain a coalition policy?
Well, that'll be discussed along with a lot of our other policies that we took to the election. And 2 years ago, if you had have said the nuclear option, many people would have run 100 miles, the same sort of people who would have been quite happy to have nuclear medicine should they need it. But I got a lot of head nods when I said that we needed to have the national rational discussion about nuclear energy as part of our power mix. But of course, the people of Australia have voted. They have decided. Interestingly enough, Peter, we lost majority government in 2022 on the back of a 35.7% primary vote, yet Labor has now got upwards of 85, 87 seats with a 34.7% primary at the moment. And of course, it's too early the figures haven't all been coming in, but and still a lot of seats and votes to come in and be decided. But that's interesting. And I know there were major redistributions in New South Wales, Victoria and WA, but this hasn't even been discussed. The fact that Labor has got 1% at this stage less primary vote than we received in 2022, and yet they're going to hold power by, goodness knows, 40, 45 seats.
Right.
Interesting.
But if you've got, just one more on nuclear, what's your personal view? Let's just put the party to the side for now. What's your personal view on it? Should it be maintained in the coalition's suite of policies?
I think if we're going to get to net zero, then we absolutely need to have nuclear as part of the mix, and I think we need to have the national rational discussion about it. Forget the Simpson memes and the three-headed fish and all that nonsense that went on. I do think we need to have a sensible discussion about it going forward, and I'm sure that'll be, along with a lot of other things, on the table when we next meet as a national party. I'm sure the Liberals will be discussing it too. As Matt Canavan said this morning, everything needs to be put on the table and discussed in a sensible way.
So what are you referring to there? The future of the coalition? Can that stay together?
No, absolutely not. Look, the Liberal Party formed in 1941. We're a lot older than that. We're Australia's second oldest political party. We've been going for 100 years, and we've been much stronger, as John Howard always said, when we're in a coalition with the Liberal Party. Agriculture and business does a lot better when we've got a strong coalition government in power in Canberra, and I'm very much a proponent of the coalition staying as one.
Okay, but
I see Colin Barnett, the former WA Premier, is out giving plenty of frank and free advice about the LNP merging. I'm not in favour of a merger. I'm just in favour of a coalition. I think the coalition is Australia's best form of government.
But how do you get that city vote back though, Michael? I mean, if you've got and that's the largest block of votes, and if they're voting against a whole bunch of stuff, which nuclear might well be part of the reason that they voted against, how do you get that city vote back if the Nats or the regional voters have a different view to the city? How does that function?
Look at how the Nats go. I mean, we pick local champions. We make sure that we work hard for every day, every week, every month, right from the start of the end of an election to the start of the next one. And this next election needs to be won street by street, suburb by suburb, seat by seat. And the Liberals have to get out to the train stations. They have to get out to the sporting and school events and the fairs and all that. And they have to work every weekend. And we have to reconvince the Australian public that we are worth voting for. We have to take a suite of policies that are going to be strong and solid, and we've got to be able to enunciate those policies and not be told by campaign headquarters that certain people can't go on media, can't go out and spruik our policies. What we need to do is make sure that every single member works hard every single day. That's what
talking about Barnaby there, Michael?
No, absolutely. Barnaby. I had Barnaby in my electorate, and he did a great job. Went to a friend raiser at Yass. So
who wasn't allowed to campaign? What are you referring to there?
Well, I'm referring to the fact that there was very much a centralised message coming out of campaign headquarters, and I think that people should be able to speak their mind. But you can't just do it in the 6 weeks of the campaign. You've got to be out working every single day from now until the next election. They say a week's a long time in politics. Goodness knows, a lot can change in 3 years, Peter, and we can win this back. But we've got to convince the Australian public that we're worth it. What's that?
In one term?
Absolutely. Look, you never say never. Like I say, a lot can happen in 3 years. And I'm sure if we get the right people, and there's a lot of good people left in the Liberal Party, a lot of good people. And we've just seen Tim Wilson win his seat of Goldstein, hopefully. Hopefully Amelia Hamid can go back in. But on the back of, we transitioned 3 seats in the Nationals. Jamie Chaffey, Alison Penfold and David Batt, good local champions. We're going to welcome them into the party room. That's what we need to be doing, finding good local champions, people who've got a background in business and getting those people to win those seats.
You are an optimist. You are an optimist, Michael McCormack.
You have to be, Peter, in politics.
Should David Littleproud stay on as leader of the Nats?
Well, look, all the leaders' positions will be vacated as they always are after an election, and I'm sure David will throw his hat in the ring. And good luck to him. I'm devastated that Perrin Davey will probably no longer be in the party room. She's forgotten more about water policy, very difficult water policy that most people will ever know, and that's a big loss not only to the party but the parliament.
So who's going to get your vote, Michael? Are you interested in getting it back?
Oh, look, I want the Nationals to be united. I want the Nationals to continue to be great representatives of regional Australia. That's what we are. And,
are you ducking this question, Michael McCormack?
No, not ducking at all. I'm sure David will put his hand up. I'm not quite sure anybody else will. And we need to get behind the leader, get behind the party, get behind our policies, and the Liberal Party needs to do a lot of soul searching. And I'm sure they'll be doing that. But what I would say to the Liberal Party is don't go and brief journalists anonymously. Get behind whoever you elect as leader and back that person in. At least it looks like with the 3 contenders at the moment, Dan Tehan, Angus Taylor and Susan Lee, will get a regional leader potentially of the Liberal Party, and that's not such a bad thing either, rest assured.
Okay. Michael McCormack, it's always a delight to talk to you. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon.
Good on you. Talk soon.